It's been said that better questions lead us naturally to better answers, and that it's in not knowing that we open the doorway to knowing. I'm Scott Lennox, and you're listening to The Beautiful Question, a consideration of things that truly matter in a complex world. Unless we consciously do something to change it, we live our lives based on the conditioning we've experienced starting from the time we were born. Join me this week as we consider ways of liberating ourselves by living from the inside out, and by following what is both innate and unchanging within each of us. On what foundation do you think your value rests? And just how did you come to be in possession of that idea, whatever it is? Does your value rest on the balance in your checking account or the money you earn? Is it found in the car you drive or the things you've acquired to surround yourself? Is it based on your academic degrees or the kinds of training you've received? Does it perhaps come from your circle of friends or the neighborhood where you live? No? Then what about your gender, age, ethnicity, or your sexuality, or maybe your political affiliations? How about your personal accomplishment, all the things that you've done and the knowledge you've acquired? How about the number of people you've shown compassion to or have helped in some way? Still no? Then how about the fact that you're in church every time the doors open, or the beliefs that you hold? Or could it be based on how much you give to other people and the ways you choose to defer to the needs and wishes of others? Is it the sum of all the acts of service you've performed? It's none of that either? Of course it isn't. The truth for each of us, no matter who we are, is that our personal value as a human being is not based on any external factor, not a single one, regardless of how wonderful or selfless they may be. Yet consider the ways our culture defines and assigns personal value. Think of the awards and accolades that are heaped on people because of what they accomplish or the skills they have. Consider the praise and admiration and the social and financial benefits that are shown to them as a result of those things. Then, following the same artificial principles, consider the other side of the coin, the ways in which people are overlooked or ignored or shamed or ostracized simply because they're not working or producing anything. Productivity, the great Western lie. Value based on output. What a suffocating and stultifying trap that is. And by all means, don't leave out the ways in which people who are considered to be, quote, different, unquote, in some way, are shunned and socially devalued, causing them so much unnecessary pain and suffering. When it comes to outside-in living, there are two sides to the issue. On one side, we find rewards and bright spotlights and heaps of adulation. On the other side, silence, invisibility, and a growing sense of seeming worthlessness. But we needn't be surprised at all about how that plays out. After all, most of us grew up being quietly acculturated by outside-in thinking in one form or another. For as long as we can remember, we were judged and compared. We were shown or told that our personal value is based on outer factors. The truth, however, is that every one of those outer factors is artificial. As good as they may be, they have absolutely nothing to do with who and what we really are, or how inwardly valuable or capable we are. So as a thought experiment this week, are you willing to set aside all of your outside-in thinking and dare to return to the inside-out awareness you were born with? As you do, pay attention to the marvelous and naturally enlivening things that reveal themselves to you. One of the first things we find when we look to our innate self is that we're not questioning whether or not we are valuable. We don't ask if our lives matter. We don't ask whether or not we fit wherever we find ourselves. We know that we're valuable. We know that we matter. And we know that we fit, that we were born with an inalienable place in what the poet Mary Oliver called the family of things. Another discovery we make is that while there's always so much more that can be learned, there's a deep wisdom embedded into each one of us. It's from that place of inner wisdom that we're always capable of learning and growing and expanding ourselves. It's from that place that we accept life on its own terms. And it's from that place that we live our lives with greater and greater presence, from one moment to the next. When we were infants, we were extremely present. We laughed and smiled when we felt happy. We frowned or cried when we felt sad. And then when that moment passed, we let it go, and we moved on to the next moment and to the next experience with a sense of wonder and openness and expectancy. Yet as adults, we tend, either consciously or unconsciously, to focus on the past, holding on to our old hurts and our old wounds, the old rules and the old lessons we were given about who we're, quote, supposed to be, unquote, and how we're supposed to think and feel and act. When I catch myself living from the outside in, I feel compelled to ask myself two pivotal questions. The first is, Scott, how's that working for you? The second is, what do you know from the inside out that will make things any better right now? If you were to make such a simple yet significant shift in your thinking, what would change, and in what ways? Want to find out? This week's 4 beautiful questions are designed to help you do exactly that. Question 1. From the inside, what do you know to be deep and positive and unchanging in you? 2. When you pause and listen to your inner wisdom, setting aside the judgments and the criticism of others, what naturally settles and begins to change for the better in you? 3. When you accept your remarkable inner qualities and the gifts in you that never change, what do you know about yourself that you so often overlook when you're thinking from the outside in? And 4. Remembering what you have always known about yourself, what changes when you choose to put that into place right now? As always, I'd enjoy hearing the good news about what you're doing to bring your life into deeper resonance with your best self. Have fun this week being kind and loving and accepting with yourself, and watch what happens as you do. As I say each week, my light with your light. Thank you again for listening. I'm always inspired by our collaboration as we work and play together, building better lives and better possibilities for ourselves, for one another, for the world, and for our beautiful planet home. I look forward to your comments and to your feedback. You can also be inspired by visiting my good friends at Cosmos Journal. That's KOSMOS Journal. Their mission is to inform, inspire, and engage global transformation in harmony with all life. You can easily find them online at cosmosjournal.org. And as always, you can find my free podcasts and guided relaxation audios by searching for The Beautiful Question in Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud or CastBox, or by visiting the podcast page of my website at scottlennox.com. If you find them useful or encouraging, don't hesitate to share them. And finally, I'm happy to share with you that very soon you'll find me on the new Beautiful Question website at thebeautifulquestion.com. We're just now in the early stages of production, and I'm excited by what we'll be able to share with you. On the site, you'll listen to current and previous podcasts, as well as free guided relaxation audios. You'll also find a complete archive of the Beautiful Question newsletters, as well as other offerings to challenge, lift, and inspire you. I'll let you know when we go live with it. I'm Scott Lennox, and this has been The Beautiful Question. The Beautiful Question is a One Light production Written, recorded, produced, and funded by Scott Lennox at Heart Rock Studios in Fort Worth, Texas, as a way of paying forward to life, being fully present, becoming better engaged with things that truly matter in a complex world, and committing to a healthier future for all of us.